For today's meeting, we have a limited number of guests, so as the table topics master, I reserve the right to call on members who may already have an existing role. For our second question, May of 1937 marks the completion of the Golden Gate Bridge. During construction of the bridge, a safety net was actually suspended underneath from one end to the other. The net saved the lives of 19 men who became known as the Halfway to Hell Club. Jack, what close call or near miss have you experienced or witnessed?
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. Close calls. I've had a few close calls. I've rappelled out of helicopters, and on occasion the helicopters failed to maintain its altitude while we were exiting. I've jumped out of airplanes, and especially in the C-140, I've found that maintaining a speed that's appropriate for jumping is pretty difficult for an Air Force pilot. And so I've nearly fallen out the door rather than properly exiting the door. But the closest call I had was while I was recreationally diving in Hawaii, on what should have been one of the easiest dives that I ever did. It was the backside of the Molokini crater. And as I was exiting the boat, I was helped by a young dive master who detected that I had turned my air valve fully opened and then cranked it back a quarter turn as I was supposed to. Well, he detected this as my air not being fully on. And so he opened it up fully in the wrong direction. So I exited the boat into hundreds of feet of water because it was a wall dive. And not being the most petite individual, I went under rather rapidly. All was well in my mind. I wanted to get 20, 30 feet under pretty quickly. I took that first breath, which was available, exhaled, continued to go down, located my dive partner, tried to take the second breath, and learned I had no air. So I began to do the little dance that you do to try to find your valve before I thought, traced by the line, pulled it over my shoulder, opened it back up, and got some air. Just as my dive buddy was coming down to provide me air from her regulator. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack.